Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining our monthly Gradient Smart session. Today's topic is updating terms and celebrating usage. We have a new feature release that just came out last night that I'm really excited to show you. To access any of the resources for this presentation, please feel free to use the bit.ly link in the bottom left corner of your screen, and we'll go ahead and get started. So our Smart Session facilitators, hi, my name is Katie Selstrom. I'm the Director of Customer Experience here at Gradient. I also have Aaron joining us. He is our Instructional Design Manager in all kinds of goodness with customer success. And then you have Kat not joining us today, but she is the one that you most frequently email when you email support and give us a call. And we're all here just to help you out, make sure you're successful in achieving the goals you have with Gradient. Today's topics are going to go over checking terms. This is one of our most busy season for teachers. We want to make sure that teachers are supported and have everything they need to be successful in giving their assignments. So we need to check terms to do that. We're also going to take a look at who's using Gradient and how you can find out how it's being used. So we'll celebrate some usage, and then we'll talk about some next steps that you can take. If you have any questions while I'm reviewing these resources, feel free to drop them into the chat. Aaron is monitoring that and can send you resources, answer questions, and ask out loud if there's anything you want us to go over. Okay, so let's jump into checking terms. As you may know, students, classes, and grades in Gradient all are showing and accessible based on term dates, and term dates usually come over from your student information system, from Clever or ClassLink, and can be edited in Gradient. So there's 3 links there for you. We give you some information about common errors and problems that teachers report when terms are not updated, so you can take a look at those. There's also a link to how to update your term dates and a little bit of information about term padding. On the screen, you can see what it looks like in admin mode. If you go to the More menu and you select Terms, you'll see a list of your current terms with a little checkbox that you can use to edit a term. And when you edit a term, you get the little window here that gives the term name, the start date, and the end date. And that end date is what I want to focus on here with you today. If your end date for your winter or fall or first semester term, whatever you're calling it, is right around December 14th or 16th or 21st, whatever day it is that you're wrapping up time with students and grades, you want to make sure that that end date gives teachers enough time to grade, not just give their assignment, but scan it, grade it, and transfer any grades. So you might want to add a little bit of a buffer. So that end date there should represent when teachers are done grading their assignments and have everything that they need out of Gradient for the current classes and students that they're teaching in order to give grades. So editing term dates to kind of allow for that cushion is a great tip. You also can use term padding, which will take that end date and add a little cushion just all by itself. And you can decide how many days of cushion. Right now, the default is 7 days, but you can make it 3 days, 2 weeks, whatever you want, so that, again, teachers have access to classes beyond that end date to finish grading. Let me jump into Gradient just to show some of the steps you can take to either edit terms or work on term padding. So I'm going to log in here real quick to our demo account. As you know, when I log in, I get teacher mode first. So I'm going to jump to my account menu and go to admin mode. And from here to edit terms, I'm going to choose the More menu and terms. And here's where I'm going to see a list of all the current terms. So current based on the dates that I've given for the academic year. And I'm able to check a term, choose edit. And here's that modal I was displaying before, where you can edit the terms that are available. You also can go into term padding. So in the account menu inside of admin mode under settings, there is term padding. And term padding gives a little bit of more time for teachers, like I said, to print forms, scan, look at online access, and grade. So you could change the number of days to kind of extend your term without actually having to physically extend the term here by using term padding. So either option, either using term padding or extending your end dates to make sure that teachers have enough time to grade is your main key to success here. Let me jump back and talk a little bit about usage. Before I do, let's see in the chat if there was anything that I needed to find out about. Oh, Bitly access. Looks like we don't have sharing access for the Bitly, so let me fix that real quick.
Yeah, didn't want to interrupt you for that, but
that's okay.
That was the only question so far.
That's a quick fix. Sorry about that. Thank you, Catherine, for noticing. I think you should be good to go now. Anybody with the link should be able to access it. And then again, the Bitly is SS 120722. Thanks so much for letting us know. Sorry about that. Okay,
zip it along. There's one more question about term padding.
Oh, good.
And
yes.
Whether it will prevent the new term from showing.
It will not. So that is kind of the benefit of using term padding over term dates. It's also sort of the downside. So term dates will depend or will determine what classes show as current. And so typically for your term dates, if one term ends on the 14th, the next term wouldn't start until the 15th. And that way there's not an overlap. When you use term padding, there will be an overlap. So if you don't want that overlap, if you have end dates and start dates that are real close to one another and you're worried about teachers getting confused, you can always set your term padding to 0, and then there will be no overlap. So great question there. Let me jump back in just to review that here. You can go into account menu, settings, term padding, and just change this to 0. So if you do not want classes to have any overlap or you're worried about them having overlap at all, you can get rid of term padding so that that does not happen. Most folks, though, for some reason, seems like the new term usually starts sometime in January and the old term ends sometime in December. So there isn't a whole lot of overlap, but it all depends on the system you're working with and how it's been set up. Okay, great question. I'm going to keep going, but Erin, interrupt me anytime if there's something else I should talk about. Okay, so beyond setting up teachers for success with those terms and adjusting term padding as needed, we also wanted to let you be proactive in another way and celebrate usage. So we have 3 different ways for you to look at usage within Gradient. One way has been available for a very long time in admin mode. You can go to school and staff usage reports and see the number of folks that have logged in at your school, the number of scans that have been completed at your school or for a staff member, and even adjust the dates to see, logins or scans just from the beginning of this year or from the beginning of this month, et cetera. You also have access to school reporting mode, which is a way to see all of your usage for assignments. So you can drill into specific assignments and see what schools, classes, and teachers are using those assignments and what the performance is like for those assignments. And released last night, you now have a new assignment usage report, which is what's showing on my screen. So the assignment usage report is accessible via the More menu, or it might just be showing like it is in my screenshot here, just as a reports tab for you within admin mode. It all depends on what permissions you have and whether they need to be tucked under that More menu or you have fewer permissions and they can all just show at the top of your toolbar. So you'll find in the More menu a reports feature, or you might just see it in admin mode. And when you click on it, you'll see a list of all the schools that are tied to the subscription, as well as a filter for the current academic year or a date range. And you'll see the number of paper, online, and both, so assignments that were delivered both on paper and online in a visual representation and then also as a table. You can sort this table by clicking on the column headers, which is really nice. So if you're interested in seeing assignments that were delivered via paper versus assignments delivered online, and you're interested to see the high flyers or where the most usage is, you can sort the tables this way. And you can also click in to either the bar that represents the school or the school name itself, so that you can then drill into teacher and student usage for assignments. So this works much better if I'm actually in Gradient. So let me jump in and get out of the terms that I was in and choose reports. So our assignment usage, I can hover over the bars to see the information that's displayed in a little bit more clear manner. I can sort the column headers here, and the graph will sort as well. So that's kind of nice. And I'm able to either click into a bar or click into one of the schools to get more information. This report is a really great place to go if you're looking for which schools in your subscription are heavily using Gradient, so you can find out what's working really well for them so that you can scale it across your district. If you just have your one itty bitty school, no problem, click into your school, and then you're able to see all the teachers that are using Gradient, or by changing the filter, you can look at all of the classes that are using Gradient and have assignment usage. So either way, whether it makes more sense for you to look by teacher, because you don't have that many of them and you know who all of them are, or if you are in an area where you want to look by class so that you can kind of sort by subject area and get an idea of which departments or grade levels are using Gradient, that would work too. And again, these reports are a great place to go to find where your bright spots are, learn from the folks that are using Gradient the most about what's working well for them, maybe what's not, and what other resources they may need. So that information is all here. A great way. We're super excited to be able to give this to you so that you're able, starting in 2023, to kind of hit the ground running and really get great experiences and ideas from these teacher users that are really using Gradient to the max. Okay, so let me jump back, make sure that I have answered all questions before I move on. Are there any questions that I can answer about assignment usage?
Nothing so far in the chat.
Okay, great. Then one more just quick tidbit. If you haven't thought of using school reporting mode for usage, or you've never looked at our staff or school usage reports, those are also great places to go for that big picture information about who's logging in or how many scans overall are being delivered at your school. To use school reporting mode like a usage report, let me jump into school reporting mode real quick. From this view of school reporting mode, I have access to all of the schools over here on the left-hand side that are using Gradient. So from this overview page, I can see the list of my schools and this current school year, who has turned in results for the assignments that they're using. So like our other report that I was showing, this is a great place to go if you just want a general idea of which schools are using Gradient the most or the least. If you're not interested in schools because you only have one, you can also look at this from a teacher overview, same idea. You can see the number of turned in, or classes, do the same thing, see the number of turned in. So this is a great starting point. From here, you can drill in more. So if I wanted to know which schools are using it the most, I can click into the school. Now I have that filter on the top, just like we were seeing in the assignment usage report. And now I'm able to get an idea of which assignments for this particular school have a lot of usage. So I have that turned in area here. And I also can, if I know my teachers or I'm familiar with this school, I can see the assignment authors. Here, I might be able to tell from the assignment name what subjects, if I have a naming convention I'm using, or what courses. So I can definitely click in more here to learn more. And I can even look at multiple assignments at once and review the data together by drilling in. So school reporting mode is a great place to go if you're really familiar with assignments and assignment reports, and you're familiar with the types of assignments and what they cover. And then you can use all of our other reports for students, for by question, by standard, now looking across 3 assignments or multiple assignments and get the information that you need. So just a quick tip there, school reporting mode is another great way to look at usage. Okay, so last things to cover are our next steps. We've been sending out these newsletters. If you've had a chance to look at them, great. If not, there's a link here for you for the latest newsletter. Covers a lot of the topics I've already talked about. So in our Teach It Forward section within the newsletter, we have how to use data for reflection and celebration, and we review some of these usage reports along with the video. And we also have other tips for leaders to prepare for this coming busy season. While teachers are getting ready, there's a lot of other tips we have beyond adjusting terms that you can take a look at. And we also have tips for teachers for what they can do to be successful. You know, the way they print their forms to make sure that they scan correctly and they're not doing that last minute rush to ask you questions on the last day before winter break. So definitely check these out or send them along if needed. And we have an archive of all of our other newsletters. So if you've missed any, we have a theme each month that we try to focus on. Last month's theme was integrations. The time before that was getting ready for PLCs. So there's a lot of great training resources and leader resources there for you to take a look at. And then, of course, many of you are regulars to our Smart Sessions, but if you're new and you missed one, we do have all of our recordings and slides from all of our previous sessions listed on our Smart Sessions page. We're really excited. Our next Smart Session in January is going to preview our winter roadmap to show you what's coming in the spring. There's a lot of exciting features that are being released to make teachers and leaders' lives easier. So definitely sign up for that January 11th Smart Session, and the recording will be sent to you if you can't make it. And I think that's all we have to share today. I'm going to stop recording, but you can stay on and ask any questions, and feel free to always reach out to support@gradecam.com if you have any follow-up questions from this, or give us a call at the number that's listed below.